Good morning from Europe. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, guys. Piotr here, this is Light Forex Global YouTube channel. April 15th, we are ahead of the London Open. A little bit of the risk of when it comes to the market. Dollar a little bit stronger. The indices a little bit off the high, as well as gold. We have guys, Eurostoxx futures showing around the minus 0.4 during the early trading ahead of the London Open. We have Nikkei 225 close lower by 0.45. We have, guys, information from France, where the looks like retail sales slumped by 24% in March from February. We are awaiting the French CPI as well later today. When it comes to the coronavirus, the yearly numbers, we have some kind of a little bit of the increase when it comes to German case count, right? It's the change is 2,486 compared to 2,000 day before, and it's around the last 13th and 12th of April, where we have 2,537, 2,821 respectively. So that's the morning statistics. We are awaiting later today for good US data package, retail sales, Empire State Manufacturing Index, capacity utilization rate, industrial production, as well as Beige book. Also, we do have a Canadian Central Bank rate decision, so that's what we are going to discuss today, but I'm going to make the special update when it comes to that. Anyway, let's have a look what we have on the charts at the beginning of the European day. All right, euro dollar. As I mentioned, dollar is getting a little bit stronger during the Asian hours. That's the pullback from under 110 down towards 1965, 1960. But the key level, in my opinion, is 950. So let's switch a little bit higher. Let's switch to the daily chart, and that's gonna be much clearer here. So why 950 is a key, in my opinion? All right, it's the low over here, right, as well as the low over here. So two important, twice we tested this important level. Also the previous week, right, we have Thursday, Friday tests. Monday it was the attempt to go higher with rejection. All right, and breakout yesterday. So today it might be some kind of the retest. We might eventually call it as a retest. So the weekly open is what we have to hold when it comes to the buyers, right? So this levels around 1950. That's gonna be crucial. So I truly believe we have some stops right under this late afternoon lows from yesterday, right? So what bulls are looking for? Bulls are looking for a retest of the weekly open, right? So looking for the market to find the liquidity below that low and going higher to retest again 110. 110 is of course another significant level because it's a run number, it's a psychological number. So that's where I do expect another supply closer to 110, 110.20, right? If bears are going to manage to get back and close below, right? We might see then retest of the broken level and continuation to the downside, get back to 109. So overall, when it comes to the euro dollar, we are testing very crucial level right here, right now. Now, oil. Well, President Trump over the whole weekend was trying to ensure us that it was the greatest oil deal in the history, which, as we can see, it was not, right? Based on the current price action, post-Friday sell-off, we have a sell-off from the very beginning of the week. Now, we are testing very important, very significant possible demand level, right? Green zone, as you can see. And my way of thinking, when it comes to that particular gap, because it has not been tested, I'm going to make the kind of the count from that latest upside day, right? So what I'm talking about here is the possibility of the falling under own weight, right? So let me explain you a little bit closer. What I'm talking about. Let's make some kind of the measure from here to here, right? The bounce was 61.8. Now, because of where we are right now, right? Because we are testing very important and significant level. I'm not gonna chase the short side. I'm going to wait eventually for the retest of the latest supply based on the Fibonacci 61.8, but also for me it's clear that's supply over here, right? So we might see another bounce, but then I would make that full measure, and it's something we were trying to do once, right? When it comes to the oil, we're trying to do the thing like this once already. And after the break, it's gonna give us, well, levels below 10. And well, I wouldn't say it's not possible, right? On the other hand, we can argue that if that scenario is going to play out, why not to try to trade the long side, right? That's very true. And as you can see, we have inside that green zone from the daily chart, we have the intraday based on over-under, based on the price action we've seen lately here, right? So you have the price action. But, well, guys, I would be extremely careful to try to trade that ahead of the US Open. I would rather eventually watch for the price action during the New York session, and if there is a chance, we are going to make an update, right? I'm going to cover Bank of Canada. I'm going to cover the US data, so there should be the chance to make an update when it comes to the oil. All right, and finally, let's have a look what we have, because it's a morning session. Let's have a look what we have on the DAX. German DAX, right? So we are getting closer and closer, and we were discussing that when it comes to JP Morgan yesterday, to try to close that gap, right? The price action from yesterday is very, very interesting, with this a little bit of the upper shadow, meaning that from the daily chart perspective, daily green color, from the daily chart perspective, we just hit some stops, and the bears are trying to step in. So let's have a look. Let's have a look from the intraday perspective what we have on the DAX. Of course, we have this Asian market trying to reject, but I would like to point one thing and show you one thing. This possible over under. So I think right here, right now, around the open, the market is going to take the advantage of this stops. I think that's gonna be just stops, going back and retesting this over under. So in that case 10,800 plus minus few points, that's what I'm gonna to look for from the bear perspective. In case you are the bull, I would say I would wait for a levels closer to 10k, maybe even a little bit below 10k, and we are talking about retest of that consolidation, right? So if I'm not mistaken, if my way of thinking is correct, there is a long way to the downside. So we are talking about the almost or plus minus 800 points when it comes to the DAX, right? We are testing the levels where I think some the selling activity is gonna be visible. You know, it's always better to buy the dip and sell the rallies, right? That's the thing. So very crucial level is being tested right now on the euro dollar, on the oil, and on the DAX, and that's what I'm going to monitor over the course of the beginning of the London session. Guys, don't be trapped. It was my pleasure to be with you. Have a great European session. Take care and goodbye.